The basic idea of first species counterpoint is that two melodic voices combine to create consonant intervals, both vertically between two notes played at the same time, and horizontally between two notes played successively. But having all consonant intervals alone does not a good counterpoint make. There's more to it, and the first step is writing a melody with good musical shape. A melody with good shape will move mostly by step, with the occasional third thrown in as well. To add some variety to a longer melody, you can add one or two larger leaps. These must be consonant leaps. Never leap a dissonant interval such as a diminished fifth or a seventh. Also, never leap more than an octave. Note that it is totally okay to leap a perfect fourth. While the perfect fourth is dissonant when heard as a vertical sonority, it is consonant when heard as a melodic interval. After a leap larger than a third, your melody should come back in the opposite direction, preferably by step, but certainly by no more than a third. A well-written melody contains varied contour, that is, it mixes upward and downward intervals, and has a range of at least a fifth and at most a tenth. A melody that noodles around within just a few notes sounds boring, but a melody that wanders too far from where it started loses coherence. Most nice melodies come to a climax around 2/3 of the way through. A melodic climax occurs when you reach a note that is higher than all other notes in the melody. A particularly nice technique is to approach the climax with a large leap and subsequently come back down. Each of the melodies shown here has a problem. Write down what the problem is and bring your answers to class. As you know, all vertical intervals must be consonant. Imperfect consonances are preferable over perfect consonances because they have a quality, major or minor, while perfect consonances sound hollow. As you know, parallel perfect consonances are absolutely forbidden. Parallel imperfect consonances, though, are okay. However, limit yourself to 3 consecutive instances of the same interval to avoid monotony. There's one other type of motion to look out for, called direct fifths and direct octaves. These occur when a perfect consonance is approached by similar motion. So if you land on a perfect fifth with both voices moving downward, that is a direct fifth. Direct fifths and octaves sound thin and are mostly forbidden in species counterpoint. I say mostly forbidden because there is one situation in which direct fifths and octaves are allowed, when the upper voice moves by step. So this is okay, but this is not. This is okay, but this is not. Each of the counterpoint fragments shown here has a problem. It could be too many consecutive uses of the same interval, parallel perfect consonances, or direct fifths or direct octaves. Copy each of these little fragments down, label the intervals between the notes, and note the problem. Bring your answers to class. The last thing you need to know is how to begin and end your counterpoint. The lower voice will always begin on the tonic, but the upper voice can begin on scale degree 1, 3, or 5. Both voices must end on the tonic. Also, Both voices must approach the final tonic by step in contrary motion, either expanding from a sixth to an octave or contracting from a tenth or third to an octave or unison. In minor, you should use the natural minor for your entire counterpoint except at the end. Use the melodic minor to approach the final cadence. Page 28 of the textbook summarizes the rules and guidelines for first species counterpoint.